My new special, Lucky, is streaming right now on Netflix. Check it out. The greatest day in your life is when you have a child. Or if you hit, like on roulette, that's pretty big. Dude, have you heard, will you pull up a white trash Russian? Have you ever heard of this?
I have not.
Doug Stanhope makes white trash Russians. He tends bar at this place in New Mexico and makes white trash Russians. The last mixed drink you'll ever need.
Could you imagine being on a road trip and just stumbling into a bar in New Mexico and having last call with Doug Stanhope?
I actually can. I actually totally can. No, hang on. Well, can you find the ingredients to white trash Russians? There you go. It's plastic jug vodka and Yoo-hoo. It's just vodka and Yoo-hoo. Vodka and Yoo-hoo.
Plastic jug vodka. Not any of that top shelf bullshit.
We're sending him a case of Porosos because he loves jug vodka. Like he loves cheap vodka. Which doesn't, I can really You don't drink it all, do you?
I started drinking again here and there for like special occasions when I feel like it. I just used to drink so much. Like I literally drank so much it took 30 years for somebody to be like, "Hey, I think you're autistic." As soon as I stopped drinking, they were like, "I don't think those shakes are withdrawal, bud."
So wait. I don't think I've ever asked you what is going on.
Yeah, you were never like, "What are you?" No,
yeah. I never really cared.
You did ask me what the first night I was on the tour bus with you. You were like, "So you got something going on, but like, do I need to do anything different?" And I was like, "No, just be you, man."
Yeah,
and that was great.
So wait, what is going on? I'm saying there's probably people watching going, "Wait, is he in withdrawals?" Like so.
No, I have autism and ADHD. So I stim like it's like a social anxiety thing. Like when I'm walking around in the real world, like if I have like noise canceling headphones on, you probably wouldn't notice. Or if you saw me like on like a plane, you might be like, "Oh, that guy's just like nervous about flying because he's like chewing on his fingernails and bouncing his leg." Is? Those are all different stems. Like nail biting is a stem. Foot, like leg tapping, foot bouncing is a stem. Finger tapping is a stem.
When you go?
Yeah. Anything that's defined as like a subconscious repetitive behavior is a stem. It's where your brain
blowing air through your teeth.
Yeah. Oh, I've been waiting years to just welcome you to the team. You're definitely one of us, dude. You're.
I stem a lot. I think I stem a lot.
Yeah. We like most people do, but most people either like don't realize it or it's not like it doesn't affect their day-to-day life, right? But like if the first time I really noticed it, I was a department manager at a Lowe's and I had to give morning meetings, so I would have to like get the whole team together and I was like, why am I so like shaky and why can I not keep my voice calm when I'm talking to a group of people? And it was the first time I'd really experienced that because like growing up, I was like, I played sports and was in the Army. So like when you're part of a team, you mesh with the team. So then it's like, oh, I don't have a problem talking to my teammates because we're teammates, you know? But it's when it comes to like strangers or it's like, I don't know you. Like you're putting off a vibe that my brain is picking up on that I don't like.
It's interesting that you get into stand-up. It's like the number one thing that is.
Yeah, that it started as a like therapy homework, as like exposure therapy of
really.
Yeah, she's like my therapist because when we first started like working on it, my executive functioning was so bad, like I could barely manage my own life, like to the point that like I had lived on my own, I was married before, stuff like that, but I had gotten so bad that I had moved back in with my family. And I was working with this therapist and she's like, the only way for you to be like self-sufficient is to get past these couple of hurdles. Because what happens is when you're autistic, especially when you go undiagnosed for like a large portion of your life, it gets progressively worse because all of the weight of like society and expectation, it just compounds and it gets heavier, right? So I just burnt out my processors and it got to the point where it's like, I can't pretend to be regular for long periods of time anymore. That's
Really?
all it is.
So wait, it is progressive. So what were you not, how noticeable was your stemming as a child?
I was a nail biter and I was, if you went back and looked at my childhood, just like raw dogged it, you'd be like, oh, he's ADHD. He's just unmedicated ADHD. But it was
which you were.
I was,
yeah.
But it was the combination of both. Like I'm not extreme ADHD or extreme autism. Since I have the combination of both, I'm kind of like moderately both things.
Really?
Yeah.
I always wished I would get diagnosed as ADHD, and I think I was, but I think I am. I absolutely think I am. Yeah. It's not that I don't want to listen to people. It's that I'm already on to the next thing. I hate that about myself, because someone will bring something up and then I'll just change subjects because that's where my head's at.
Yeah, you'll be 100%. But we were just doing this.
Yeah. I mean, it must have been tough being in the military when
the military was actually probably the easiest portion of my life. Because I was an X-ray technician in the military. Like I didn't have some like.
But you had to go through boot camp, right?
Had to go through boot camp.
Wait, how old were you?
19. I turned 19 in basic training.
So you go to high school.
Go to high school. Around my junior year, my like parents, teachers, everybody kind of came together and was like, something's going on. He was like a gifted student in like AP classes, and now everything's slipping. He can't concentrate. He can't stay focused. He can't. So my parents pulled me out of public school and sent me to this private Christian school that my brother and sister were already going to because they had diagnosed learning disabilities. So they had scholarships to go there. So my parents like had to figure out a workaround, and because I like played sports, I was able to get a basketball scholarship to go to a private school.
Really?
But that's how I ended up like falling through the cracks and like finishing school, as I went to a private school where it's like your entire high school is 30 kids and you work out of these little workbooks at your own pace. So just have at it. If you have a question, put your flag up. And I graduated early.
Yeah, put me in that school.
Yeah.
I don't ever remember studying for a test.
The only thing I can actually like remember studying for was Spanish in high school, and that's just because I didn't trust the teacher because we had a white Spanish teacher.
So let's go back, because I'm always curious about this part, because you are a complex dude. Like you do have these nooks and crannies, but you murder on stage. Like murder on stage, but you don't
appreciate that.
I remember the biggest mistake I ever did was the first night we did the show, and you were going fast, and I said, "Hey, it's an arena, you got to slow it down a little bit." And you're like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, just slow it down." I go, it plays better because they're really watching the TVs. You're like, okay, and then I'm in the green room, and I go, "Fuck, are they calling my name?" And they're like, "No, you still have like 15 minutes." And I went, "What?" And they're like, "Oh, he's destroying." And I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "I don't know. He slowed it down. And he's just fucking murdering." And it was so loud. It was so loud that I was like, "Motherfucker."
Dude, you probably remember like when you were like coming up in comedy, you'd get those like, I call them like checkpoints. Like when you're playing video games and you get to a save point and it's like, I'm never going to be worse than this. Like you get that with like confidence boosts, and like that conversation that night at, I'll never forget, Van Andel Arena. I came off stage. You went up, crushed, came back down. There was a group of people that was coming down to meet you, and somebody held them up in the hallway, and you were like, "Come in here for a minute." And then you and the whole team were like circled up, and you were like, "Dude, I've been doing this a long time, and I've never had an opener get pops that big in an arena before."
The only person that I'd ever witnessed that with, I swear to God. And listen, everyone, if you vote for me, I know you're like, "Well, hold on, I've crushed Bert." I'm telling you, there's only 2 times that I remember that and there's times I just wasn't paying attention. I'm no slight to anyone. You and Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis got a standing ovation at the Celebrity Theater in Arizona, and he didn't know what to do with it. He was like, "All right, it's my time," and then the whole fucking place stands up, and he's like, oh, and then he looks at me, and I'm off stage. I'm like, "Stay out there," and he was like, "Oh, all right." All right. All right.
Do you know what my move is now?
What?
Because I had the same problem. The first time I got a standing ovation, I was just like,
Yeah.
and I just like literally ran off stage. I was like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
And now I curtsy. It was like a panic move. I did it the first time. I just curtsied, and now it's every time.
Standing ovations are interesting because I never ever got one in my entire life. And then at clubs, I never got them at clubs. And then once I did theaters, I started getting standing ovations. And then arenas, you get them every time. But I think it's just the venue is where Joe Coy used to get standing ovations anywhere he went. When he did a spot at the fucking Improv, he'd get standing ovations. When he did a 10-minute drop-in spot, he'd get a standing ovation. Yeah, I never got them. You did. Wait, we're going to go back to this. But I love that you did Laughs Unlimited this weekend.
Yeah.
That's where I cut my teeth.
Yeah, we talked about Jenny. She's the manager now. You said she was a bartender, like back in your day.
Yeah.
She's running it, like booking it. She booked me from like a festival in Chattanooga that she was at. And she came to my headline show and was like, "We want you." But dude, some of I got a standing ovation there this weekend. Yeah, the Friday early show, standing ovation.
How much time are you doing at Laughs Unlimited when you go on?
The 2 early shows, because they were the ones I had the most tickets for, and because I'm filming the hour next weekend, I went long on those 2. I did an hour 20.
Wow.
And then the late shows, I cut it down and did an hour on the money.
That's great. Yeah, that club. If Jenny's listening, I hope this doesn't sound like a slight. But that club was outside the realm of stand-up when I started. Meaning they didn't have their finger on the pulse of stand-up. They booked stand-ups, but they weren't like...
It was like the old road dogs.
It was all old road dogs, and there was very little interest in anyone trying anything new. The more base the act was, the more successful they saw them as. And Jenny had nothing to do with the booking of it then. And no slight to the comedians that I'm talking about, but like there was never there was no, hope he's doing new material this week. Please tell me you're doing the same thing you did last time you came in.
Yeah.
And it was like, I remember Carl LeBove was like the biggest. Carl LeBove and Screech were the 2 biggest names they got in there. And they were like, I remember them telling me you'll be nothing until they're like, you need to watch Carl LeBove. He's changing the game. And I was like, I think he changed the game. Like yeah. I think back in the day, him and his boys were like, they were like that. That was like the Shane and the Philly guys. Like Shane was Sam Kinison, and then his whole group of road dogs were all wildly talented too. And they all rode together. They all did spots together. They all fucking had each other's back. They got in fights together.
Yeah.
But when I saw Carl LeBove, it was like a lot of, hey. And he's a very sweet guy. He's a very sweet guy. But it wasn't what I was trying to do at the time.
Yeah. If you don't make the face when you deliver the joke, it doesn't land. And it's like, I don't think that joke's a good joke then.
Yeah.
One of those. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jay Medicine Hat was a big guy that would come through. I think they might make things.
Jay Medicine Man?
Jay Medicine Hat.
Oh, I don't know that.
Who's Jay Medicine Man?
We might be the same person.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
Jay Medicine Hat. Is that him?
Oh, yeah.
He's a hypnotist. Dude, like hypnotists worked so good in that room. Hypnotists, if you had like a puppet, fucking wild. Like wild. But it was, it was interesting. And then I guess the legit club there was the Punchline. But so it makes me happy to see that Laughs Unlimited is bringing in a different set of comics.
Well, that's what Jenny talked to me about like this weekend. She's like, I'm trying to bring in like younger headliners that are going to like bring in a new audience and kind of like get this area like more like pumped to like follow stand up again.
I love that area. Go type in Laughs Unlimited. I love that area.
Old Sac,
I love Old Sac. I spent so much time in Old Sac. I used to go there every quarter. It was the guy that owned it was a guy, I won't say his name. We had a business falling out. I did a gig for him in Mexico, and he never really followed through with the money. And by the way, at the time, I had the swine flu.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy? I almost died in that hotel. Almost died
of swine flu drinking Mexican water and then didn't get paid for it.
I got, what's their lineup look like? Just go to their website. But
That's my dude, Cam Bertrand. Very funny Florida comic.
Yeah?
Yeah, used to write for Wildin' Out.
Oh, nice. I know Drew Dunn. I know. Okay, nice. There was a guy that was really big at that club. By the way, now, and I hope Jenny's listening because now it's just gossip. There was a guy that was really big at this club. Let's hope he's not. I knew, hoping I don't see his name. Paul Morrissey's there. I met Paul Morrissey at that club. Keep going. I'll make sure he's not here. Keep going next. I'm just going to make sure he's not booked. I know Jay Hollingsworth. Is that Irish Jay?
Big Irish Jay.
Big Irish Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, he's not on this lineup. There was a guy who, so there was a female who was running the club at the time. She was interesting to me. Like, she didn't like me at first. She really disliked me. And then there was this guy named Kelly Moran. Okay. He had a club in Texas, in Amarillo, Texas. It was the Amarillo Comedy Club. And I opened for Kelly Moran. Kelly Moran played the piano. He used to be the piano guy at the store back when, like, Kinnison and Jim Carrey. Mm-hmm. And he was now doing stand-up, and he would play piano. He's dead now. He overdosed from fentanyl. But him and his brothers opened a comedy club in Amarillo, Texas. It was their hometown. And I worked with Kelly. Kelly was awesome, man. He was so fucking cool and sober at the time. Not even beer. And Kelly said to me the first night, he's like, you're really good, man. He's like, I would never ask this, but, like, can you tone it down a little bit, or at least don't close as strong, so that, because he goes, I'm just having a hard time following you. This is like the first Friday night, early Friday show. I said, yeah, of course. I mean, whatever. And he goes, no, do whatever you do. Like, come out hard, fucking crush. But, like, your last 10 minutes, if you could just slow it down, it would mean a lot to me. So I did. And we had a good weekend. And then he said on Sunday, he goes, we're sitting at the bar, and he says to the lady who was running the club at the time, she was running it, she didn't own it. And he said, why don't you headline Bert? And she was like, well, he's not a headliner. And he goes, no, I've been in comedy for a while. He's ready to headline. She goes, no, we don't headline features. And he goes, what? She goes, we don't headline features. And he said, you're headlining, God, I almost remember the guy's name. You're headlining ... He doesn't headline anywhere else. She goes, yeah, but he's talented. And he goes, Bert's talented. And she goes, no, Bert's a feature. He's a feature act, and he'll always be a feature act. She goes, when he starts headlining other clubs, maybe then I'll headline him. So Kelly Moran goes, hey, what are you doing next weekend? And I said, nothing. And he goes, would you like to headline my club? And I said, I would love to. And he looks at her, he goes, now Bert's a headliner, so why don't you headline him? It was the coolest thing. And I started headlining right after that moment because of Kelly Moran. So, but the guy she wanted me to be like, I met him, and he was he was very charismatic, but he was not funny. Everything was very base. I mean, extremely base. And then I found out they were having sex. And I was like, oh, that's why she thinks he's talented, because he's fucking her.
Yeah.
And I was like, motherfucker. I was like, that's how this business works.
He's penis talented.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and then we worked. Is there a bird in my...
It does sound like there's a bird in your fireplace.
What? And so then I worked with him one time after that, and he opened for me after I started headlining there. He opened for me one weekend, and he was like, dude, you're fucking incredible. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I remember going, so glad I never listened to her. I'm so happy I never listened to her ever, because you gotta stay focused on what your thing is and go, I know I'm right. I say that a lot, and I don't know how often I'm right, but at least I'll fail being right. I'll fail by my own decision, Yep.
So you're my Kelly Moran, just so you know, because it's like same thing. Before I went on tour with you, I was headlining like indie rooms, and a couple of clubs were giving me one-nighters, like Zany's Nashville, home base, love them. They were headlining me. but not a lot of actual clubs were headlining me. And the first night you posted me on tour, the next day I had offers from like 3 clubs to do weekends.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, that makes me happy.
I went on tour with you like the very end of November, beginning of December, and January 18th, I started headlining clubs.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I could wake up to that news every morning. You know, like sometimes you wake up to good news and you go, this is going to be a good day.
Dude, that's why like I sing your praises everywhere I go, just because like to a lot of comedians, you are that guy. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. It doesn't matter who you did it with or where you've been doing it. It matters that you're fucking talented. Dude, and that's all you care about. There's
so many. I always say, you know, I've said it before, but I believe in luck more than I do hard work because we're all working really hard. We're all busting our ass. And there's someone listening to this podcast right now who's like, no shit. I get up every morning at crack of dawn. I try to get to the gym. I try to work out. I try to see my kids off to school. I try to work a 10-hour day, 12-hour day. I come home. I try to spend time with the kids, take them into the backyard. And by the end of the day, all I want is a little cocktail and maybe White Lotus with my wife. I'm busting my fucking ass, but I just can't catch a break. I feel like I know more people who just can't catch a break than I do people that are lazy.
Yeah.
You know?
100, especially in comedy. Like in comedy, we're all addicted to this one thing. So of course we're all working our asses. We're like crackheads looking for a fix. We're all trying to get that next thing because we crave it.
I could name 7 comics just off the top of my head right now that are so massively talented, but just haven't caught the right. I can name one that I'm consistently going, what the fuck what's the industry? The industry's not around anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, and think about how many comics have a podcast or posting or shooting clips, shooting content, writing scripts, auditioning, and still just can't catch a break.
No. And a lot, like, the industry part of it is most people can't catch breaks because when you do have an original idea and you show it to like someone in the industry, they're immediately like, oh, well, I would change this, and this. And it's like, well, now you're going to make it just like every fucking else that's out there.
Dude.
Like, I can't stand out if you're trying to make me look like everybody else or sound like everybody else. That's not how it works.
It's funny too, because I wonder, do you ever get shit from, I don't get shit for not wearing a shirt, but I have had comics tell me that there are comics that fucking think I'm base because I don't wear a shirt. But by the way, they don't count in my book because like I'm like, yeah. I don't know these comics.
Dude, if you were base for taking your shirt off, you'd have been done after the first one. Do you know what I mean? Like your ticket sales would have been gone.
I was told that by a couple people.
Yeah,
I was told that when I first did when I first started headlining clubs, like and changed my rate. I had a couple club owners and agents say, you know, you're a flash in the pan. This shirt off thing, it's not going to last. I had comedians say, you know, you should start wearing a shirt now that you made it. Now you got yourself in the door. Start wearing a shirt. And I was like, I'm not doing it.
Never wear a shirt.
I'm not doing it for anyone else.
Never wear a shirt. I don't care if you look like Ric Flair now. Don't put a shirt on.
I do look like Ric Flair now.
No, you were. I was talking with a buddy of mine about this when I told him I was coming out here. Dude, the thing about the no shirt that works is I'm from Florida, just like you, and you are every dad in every backyard every summer. You're the cool dad that's just grilling. It's like, oh, I got drinks in the cooler. I got Capri Suns. I got whatever. Yeah. And you're just hanging out, telling jokes, bagging on kids' moms. It's like, oh, you're my son's friend? Oh, I've seen your mom. She's a whore, you know? You're that guy, and that never gets old because it feels like you're talking to like your buddy or your buddy's dad, depending on your age. You're just like, oh, this feels like a backyard.
Dude, I am a derivative of what I grew up around. I am every dude I grew up with. I am still those guys. Now, look, I've had friends who partied a little too hard and had to get sober, but for the most part, all my friends still drink beers, sit in the backyard, play disc golf, play golf. They all watched the Masters yesterday. They all love fishing. They love having their shirt off. They love going to the ocean. They don't wear sneakers on the beach. They wear flip-flops or they're barefoot. I am Florida to a T.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's more. I learned redneck isn't just the South. There's like redneck Pennsylvania.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
redneck everywhere.
Little Brantley Gilbert, country must be countrywide.
Brantley Gilbert. Brantley Gilbert's a bad motherfucker.
He is a bad motherfucker.
He is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's the reason I give out tattoos.
Tattoos?
Yeah.
He's the reason?
Yeah, he gave me a tattoo gun. And I've tattooed a number of people. And I'm thinking about letting my daughters tattoo me.
I'd let you tattoo me.
How do you get tattoos if you're shaky?
It's kind of like this, like how we're one-on-one right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm leg bouncing and I'm a little anxious thinking about
Yeah.
the fact that all of this is being recorded. Don't say the N-word. Don't say the N-word. Don't say the N-word.
Dude, hang on. I had a buddy. I'll tell you. I only did because he's. I don't know. It's edited out. I'm doing this show, and he calls me up. And he's like, "Yo, what's up?" I was like, "Nothing." I said, "I'm about to host a show for Scripps." Now, at the time we were still as close as we were then, but he was really fascinated by Scripps because Scripps was a Christian-based company out of Knoxville, who the biggest hit they was Ghost Adventures, and they were a little at arm's length from Ghost Adventures because it had to deal with the occult.
Yeah.
And that fascinated
It's
him.
like Christians with Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
Like,
It really fascinated him. So he's like, and we ended up talking one night about it, and he was like, dude, so wait, they won't like embrace that show because it doesn't have to do with God? I was like, yeah, it basically goes against everything the Bible taught you.
Yep.
And he was fascinated. So he calls and he's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm fucking hosting an event for Scripps in New York for upfronts. He's like, wow. He goes, let me tell you a story. I had a buddy one time who was a comic and he had to host something and someone said to him, just, you're going to be fine. Don't say the N-word. And he goes, wait, what if I, and he said he got in his head and he couldn't perform that night because all he could think of is don't say the N-word, don't say the N-word, don't say the N-word, don't say the N-word. And he put that in my head before I went up and I was like, and by the way, the guy that brought me up on stage was fucking Run DMC, the fucking preacher.
Rev Run
brought me on stage. And I was like, don't say the N-word. Don't say it. Like, it's in my head. And I was like, motherfucker. I do that sometimes when Leanne calls, I go, hey, baby, you're on speaker. Don't say the N-word.
Yeah.
Choosing work boots used to mean sacrificing comfort or durability. If they felt good, they didn't last. And if they lasted, they wrecked your feet. Man, is that ever the truth? Brunt Workwear finally ended that trade-off, designing boots that withstand the toughest job sites while feeling as comfortable as your favorite sneaker. And these things are. The insole for a guy who has plantar fasciitis is amazing. Founder Eric Gerard grew up blue collar and started Brunt after his friends in the trades encouraged him to start a workwear brand that really was built for them. That's why all Brunt products are named after the guys he grew up with. God, I freaking love this dude. These might be the most comfortable work boots on the planet, but they also deliver real performance on the job, whether you need waterproof, safety toe, or soft toe. They've got you covered. They're so confident these boots were going to blow you away. They even let you try them on the job, risk-free. I went for the first thing. I wanted to feel the heel. Because when you work on your feet all day long, you want to make sure that your feet don't hurt. And man, I have plantar fasciitis. And if I'm on my feet all day long, only someone who's worked on their feet all day long knows that feeling of that first day after when you get home and you're like, dude, have I not been using my feet at all? Brunt didn't just make a durable work boot. They reinvented comfort for the hardest workers out there. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt using code Bertcast at checkout. Just head over to bruntworkwear.com and use code Bertcast and you're all set. That's it. After your purchase, they're going to ask where you heard about them. Please support the show and tell them our show sent you. The start of a new year is the perfect time to get organized, set goals, and prioritize what matters the most. For me, my top priority is always financial wellness, which feels more important than ever. I mean, it really does right now. Is everyone a little scared? Thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable. They show me all my right subscriptions, all right in one place, and they help me easily cancel the ones that I forgot about and have been paying for. You know, the one I canceled for me yesterday? I bought for $7.99 a month a universal remote on my phone. Because I was frustrated and I knew I wanted that remote and I couldn't find the remote, so I just bought it and then it didn't work for any of my TVs. Rocket Money also pulls together all my spending across all my different accounts so I can clearly track spending habits and see where I can cut back. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Right now, cash is king, and to grow your savings is the important thing. Where our economy is going, cash is king. I've had so many people tell me that. Grow your savings right now. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving their members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. That is what you need to do. Stack cash right now. Stack cash, and you can do it with Rocket Money. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Bertcast today. That's rocketmoney.com/Bertcast. rocketmoney.com/Bertcast.
Okay, that thing in your brain when somebody tells you not to do something and you're like, now that's all I can think about doing. It's in autism, it's called oppositional defiance disorder. Autistic and ADHD people have it a lot. Yeah. Like if someone ever if you're out having a good time or something and somebody's like, hey, Bert, maybe don't have another beer. Now the only thing you want is another beer.
Hold on. You're telling me, oh, I got that.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I got that so bad. You're not the boss of me. You are not the king of Dirk. Dirk's king of Dirk.
Dude, it's so bad.
I got the big dick. Who are we fucking, Jack?
Dude, it's so bad for me. Literally, whenever people like randomly in a coffee shop or something are like, oh, have a nice day, my brain literally will auto-react and say, you can't tell me what to do. Have a great day. Don't tell me what the fuck to do.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm not going to do it.
Oh, you do not tell me what to do.
You don't know this, but you just ruined my day.
God damn it, I got that. Shut the fuck up. I wonder how autistic I am.
Like a 7? I don't know. My buddy Jake Rubel, fantastic comic. Like we were road dogs together for years. But the first time I met his Uncle Mark, within 10 minutes, his Uncle Mark goes, so like when we're just hanging out here at the house, you seem almost normal. So like what number are you? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like what number autistic? And at first I thought he was just like on a scale of 1 to 10, but he had actually done the research because there's like level 1, level 2, level 3 autism. Like they don't
pull it up. Pull it up.
Like they don't call it like high functioning autism anymore. It's level, I think it's level 3.
So level 3 is high functioning autistic. It's like Jerry Seinfeld.
Level 1, sorry. Level 1
requires support. Level 2 requires, wait, hold on. You scrolled past it. Oh, no. I was just looking at the.
Level 3 requires like very substantial support. That's when like autistic, you have to like live in like an assisted living facility. That's
a real, like, so like I had a joke. It was based off this person. I'm not like everyone, there's so much autism in the world that I figure everyone's, especially if you're autistic, you're going to think I'm talking about you, but I'm not. But I am talking about one person who's just so fucking rude. And I was like, and I was doing a bit about like, I'm done with autistic people. And like, I was like, enough. I get it. Like you get to be rude because you're autistic and then you just go, you're fat, you're alcoholic, you drink too much. I'm autistic. And I was like, no, you gotta like live within the parameters.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who it is, by the way. Do you know who it is? Yeah. Who? Yeah. And I go, now I gotta. So, and it was the thing. You're not going to tell me what to do.
Yep.
I had to live within their rules, and I got so. You got to edit his name out, by the way. And don't even. I'll say this. You got to edit her name out, by the way. Are there autistic women?
Yes. I have a bit about that in this new hour where a doctor accidentally told me I had girl autism. Because we were just looking at one of my brain scans and he pointed at one of them and he's like, oh, you have an overdeveloped language center in your brain, which is more common in women with autism. And I was like, the fuck did you say?
How dare you?
Yeah. My Lord. You know?
Clutch my pearls. Women with autism may present with a range of symptoms, including difficulty with social interaction and communication, sensory repetitive behaviors, and social special interests.
Literally, the doctor, when I went back to the therapist and was talking to the therapist about it, and we had talked previously about like rocks, because I'll like, if I'm walking somewhere, it can be a Target parking lot. If they got like the rocks in the landscaping and I find one, I'm gonna keep it. But
stop.
But the
Stop. I have a jar this big filled with rocks. I have a jar this big filled with rocks. And I can tell you where I got those rocks. Get Leanne up here. Get Leanne up here. Leanne! I mean, this is eye-opening. What do I do? Okay, now what do I do if I find out I'm autistic?
You don't have to do anything. Like, so here's the thing.
No, but I mean, how do I make money off it? No, where the fuck is Leanne? I mean, my whole life, anytime I walk on the beach, all I'm doing is looking for a rock. This is insane. When we broke up, we got back together, and I picked up a rock to commemorate that night so that I never forgot that night. When I sold a TV show at Fox, I was with Will Smith, and Fox had hardscaping where it was all these beautiful rocks. And I grabbed a rock and I put it in my pocket, and Will Smith's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Nothing." And I couldn't tell him that I needed a rock to remember this day. God damn it. Tell me some more things.
So actually, when it comes to rocks, you called Leanne up here. Have you ever found a rock and then just given it to your wife as "Hey, I found this and it made me think of you"?
My daughters.
Your daughters. Yeah. So that's an autistic thing.
Hey, I might want to get Isla on the phone. I think she might have it.
So that's an autistic thing called pebbling, because it's something that they first saw in penguins. Like penguins, they don't have engagement rings, but they mate for life. So they'll find the shiniest, prettiest stone they can find, like pebble, and present it to their partner.
God, okay, keep going. What else do I have? Jesus, I wonder, is there medicine for autism?
Yes. So I'm on a mood stabilizer and a low dose of Adderall, and medical marijuana.
I love Adderall.
I only do 10 milligrams.
So I took Adderall a couple times, and I don't even know if it was called Adderall back then. It was called something else. I think it was called Ritalin.
Yep. And Ritalin is a similar, yeah.
I took Ritalin a handful of times when I was in college. And one time, and this is going to it's going to creep a lot of people out, but I took Ritalin and I went back to my bedroom and I sat on the couch in my bedroom and I read a book by myself. I opened a book, I started reading it, and I read the whole book. And I went, wow, that was fucking weird. I was like, I can't believe I read that book. I read a book and I didn't move. I didn't leave. I didn't think about starting a new project.
So it sounds like you have inattentive type ADHD. So there's multiple types of ADHD, just like there's different levels with autism. So there's inattentive type. I can't remember the name of the other one, but then there's combination type autism or ADHD.
Hang on. Can you read this out loud to me, Pierce?
Inattentive.
Known as ADD. ADD, yep. Okay.
Hyperactive, impulsive, and then combined or combination ADHD. So you might actually have combination, the inattentive, though, taking Ritalin and being able to sit down and read an entire book.
Okay, hang on. I definitely got the first one.
Yep, that's the inattentive type.
This type is marked by excessive movements, fidgeting, restlessness, difficulty sitting still. People with this may also act without thinking or blurt out answers.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot like me. This type, the last type, symptoms both inattentive and hyper. Okay. God damn it. How can you be 52 and just find out?
I didn't find out until I was 30, and this is the era I grew up in. But I come from a rural part of Florida.
Where were you in Florida?
Outside of Gainesville, between Gainesville and Cedar Key, a little place called Levy County.
Oh, is that near Leesburg?
Not too far from Leesburg. It's 30 minutes from Ocala.
Okay.
Yeah. Ocala. Everybody knows Ocala.
When Ocala is your mecca.
Yeah.
That's a tough hang.
It's a tough hang.
Buddy, let me tell you something. I know
we'd go into Gainesville, obviously.
Gainesville's fucking great.
Yeah.
Ocala's great. Ocala's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Two of my best friends grew up in Ocala. One.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
horse country and hard drinking.
And a lot of coke.
Yeah. That's why you didn't know you had autism or ADHD. You were getting the street version of Adderall your whole life.
So then what benefits? Dude, I enjoyed Ritalin a lot. It made me focus.
Yeah.
And man, I was smoking cigarettes at the time. See, fucking cigarette on Ritalin, the best. Oh yeah,
little nicotine and Adderall, dude.
So then, how did you get diagnosed? Like, how did the diagnosis come about?
I got my diagnosis by ruining Florida Gator athletics. I blame me for them not winning a national title again until this year. Because remember, they had the football, not back-to-back, but like I think there was a 1 year gap in between. Tebow. And then we had the back-to-back national basketball championships with Horford and Joakim Noah. But I didn't get
Noah. I love that guy.
I wasn't diagnosed until 2019, and I started that process. Nurse at a VA down in Cape Coral was the first person who was like, "Who have you ever talked to anyone about autism?" And I was like, "No, why?" And she's like, "'Cause you got it." And she literally, I was like, "What are you?" Like, I literally asked her, I was like, "Did you just call me retarded?" And she's like, "No, I called you autistic." And then she's like, my nephew is autistic and you have a lot of the same movements. Cause she just watched me in a busy waiting room, just like shut down and start like, just very subtly. I was on my phone, but I was just rocking back and forth and foot tapping and kind of glancing around. And
tapping
she's
my
like,
foot as we're talking, I'm tapping my foot.
Yeah. And so she sent me a bunch of like these online like questionnaires, like forms that you fill out, and it'll tell you like a score. And then it's like, if it's above a certain thing, they're like, you need to see a professional. And she sent me 4 of them, and all 4 of them are like, you better talk to somebody. And so I started looking for like therapists that specialized in autism in adults, because it's so hard to get a diagnosis as an adult. Like they normally diagnose it in children.
And I feel like they I could be wrong, but I feel like they overdiagnose it in children.
That's definitely, you can say they overdiagnose it, but I think they overdiagnosed it in like the 70s and 80s. And now it's the one thing parents, like the one term they recognize that they can latch onto. Because when you talk about autism, most people have multiple diagnoses.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So like I have autism and ADHD. Like Colin Farrell's son, like the
he's got legit autism.
He has Angelman syndrome, which is like a chromosomal difference, but it's similar to autism and it's been linked to autism. But when you talk about severe autism, there's almost always an additional disorder that is what's making it so severe.
I can talk shit about autism now that I'm autistic.
Yeah.
This is great. It's like saying the N-word when you're black.
Yes.
Sweet. What's Angelman syndrome? It's a rare genetic neurological disorder characterized by developmental delays, intellectual disabilities, and unique behavior. So individuals with often exhibit a happy demeanor, frequent laughter, and seizures. Well,
yeah,
I could do without the seizures.
Angelman syndrome is like related to autism, but do you remember Shane's joke about the difference between like autism and Down syndrome?
Yeah, cats and dogs.
So yes, cats and dogs. So Angelman syndrome is autistic people that are more happy, bright, cheerful, like Down syndrome people.
Are they is Colin Farrell's son communicative?
Not very. And I only bring it up because I literally just saw a news alert on the way here that said like Colin Farrell is like said he wants to like put his son in like a care facility. I guess he's been like raising him at home like this entire time.
Yeah.
But
I wonder, I'm starting to get to the place where I start thinking that is a better solution. Like, you know, this is not adjacent, but Leanne keeps talking about retirement homes, about like a retirement and in certain places, you know, assisted living for certain people. And it just makes life, what's this? Colin Farrell's 20-year-old son. His son's 20.
Yes.
Oh, shit. He looks just like, that's him. Hold on. Let me see. I want to hear this. Hang on.
Oh, perfect.
Hang on. All right.
Farrell becoming emotional, recounting the moment his son took his first steps just before he turned 4 years old.
It was so profound. I mean, it was magic. I mean, I'll never forget this, the face of determination on him as he just walked towards me, you know, and he took like 6 steps and I burst into tears. It was amazing to be told that he may never walk and see those.
When you think about this, I mean, when you're about to become a dad.
Yeah.
And you think about the greatest day in your life is when you have a child. Or if you hit like on roulette, that's pretty big. I mean, I'm being dead serious. Hitting on roulette, if you put $100 on a number and it hits, it's as good as having a child. It's almost better because you don't have 9 months of just
hitting
watching
a parlay during the Masters.
You're hitting a parlay during the Masters, like gambling. I think gambling is really underrated because, I've been gambling a little bit lately, and it takes my mind off my OCD because I think about that thing all day long. Mm-hmm. The Masters really was great for me. It really was.
Okay. You wanted me to tell you when you do more autistic things. That's one of them.
Are you fucking serious?
When you're like, I do this one thing because it takes all day or whatever, and I use that to distract me and keep me kind of focused throughout the day. You're using an autistic and ADHD people. There's a thing called wait mode, where if I have something to do at 3 p.m., I'm so focused on that I can't do anything else before 3 p.m. So to get past that, if there's like something going on that's like an all day thing, or like gambling where you're like, oh, I'll just put in like a 3-bet parlay, and then I can watch this during the morning, this in the middle, and then this in the evening, and my day's done. I got everything done I was supposed to.
I wish you could have told me this earlier because I just figured this out recently and I would have been so much happier. The Masters was so distracting, and then I actually started looking into Indian Premier League cricket because I was like, I would love cricket matches last a day. I was like, if I just get into a cricket team, then I could really distract myself and gamble on cricket. I got to figure out how to gamble on cricket, but I mean, that's, God damn it. So wait, what's crazy? What I was trying to say, is have the best day of your life is having a child, and then for some people, that day is taken away if there's something wrong with your child, and then because it's your first day of finding out there's something wrong with your child. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know am I saying this right? You've had a kid, Pierce. Like when you have a kid, like Georgia and Isla, both healthy births. Amazing. My sister, her son was born premature and they had to put him in an incubator for a while, NICU. And so that joy I got to have, she didn't get to have right away. It was postponed until he can come out. And then once he comes out, that's his day. And for some parents, that first day is a panic mode or even delayed. Wait, hold on. I know we're going to get in trouble for talking about this, but like, when did we first discover autism?
The 1920s.
Wow. Who was the first autistic dude?
I don't know the first autistic dude, but I know autism already existed before World War II.
Donald Trump or Donald Triplett?
Donald Triplett
was diagnosed with autism in 1943. His condition is characterized by social withdrawal, repetitive behaviors, difficulty with communications. He lived a long and fulfilling life, passing away just recently.
Yes.
In 2023.
Yes. So
89. OG.
So there's actually a form of autism called Kanner syndrome after this guy, the psychiatrist, not the
Yeah, they should have called it triplets.
That was already taken.
Oh, yeah. You've got triplets. Hey! No. My bad.
Yeah. The bad kind.
Just one, but not. Shit. Yeah. You got triplets.
Yeah, you got triplets, but only one of them has triplets.
I would love to see. God, 2023. He still lived. Here he is.
Yeah, but you look at that fella in the top left. That doesn't look like an autistic. That just looks like an old Patton Oswalt.
Yeah,
it looks so pleasant.
I guarantee you, he's autistic.
Guaranteed.
Let's go through the autistic comedians.
The hyper focus on like specific interests. Like he's super into like sci-fi and like comic book, like nerd culture stuff.
So wait, when did vaccines show up? He wasn't vaccinated.
Oh, did it say that?
No, but when did vaccines show up? Polio showed up in like the polio vaccine. When did we start getting vaccines?
1796.
Jesus Christ.
With cowpox pus.
Yeah, so they would give. I just read Interesting the way I manufacture my fucking reality. I just listened to a podcast about vaccines, and I have a buddy who's really interested in vaccines.
Yeah.
So he said, every now and then I get a couple articles from him about vaccines.
I have a buddy who's really interested.
I know so much by proxy about vaccines.
Dude, I said something accidentally on stage last night just because of the news about them recently, but you saw RFK said he's determined to find the cause of autism.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was...
Dude, tell him we're doing fucking great work here, me and you.
We're doing it. We got it figured out, pretty much. But a lady in the front was laughing, and I said she sounded like RFK having an orgasm. But then it just distracted me, and I was like, oh, RFK. You see he's trying to find like the source of like what causes autism, and I was like, how's he gonna do that? Retrace his steps? Wait. Found it. I was 23.
Wait, it's crazy that Jenny McCarthy and Jim Carrey got basically crucified for saying that vaccines caused autism. And then we get the new vaccine comes up and everyone's got notes about vaccines. I mean, it's crazy to me that they got crucified.
Well, they got crucified because, Jenny McCarthy got crucified. Jim Carrey got divorced. Yeah. He was literally like, bitch, you're crazy. I'm out.
Jim Carrey did do a kind of a side shuffle on that one. He's like, they're like, vaccines cause autism. Vaccines cause autism. And as he watched the crowd's reaction, he's like, hey, I'm going to go get us drinks. You keep going. And then he just walked off and he was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to leave.
Yeah. So basically what had happened was she got a recommendation from this like British doctor who basically was like, I've done all this research and vaccines cause autism. But that doctor has lost his medical license in the UK because the research was manufactured.
Do you know how hard it is?
It was made up.
Do you know how hard it is to lose your medicine license in the UK?
Yeah.
I mean, they have socialized medicine. They've got, their doctors are like our teachers.
Yeah.
Their doctors are just like people like,
they're like, you have to bring your own supplies.
Yeah. You got to bring your own supplies first week. By the way, I don't know if
some doctor in like the fishing section of a Walmart being like, do you think this is like equal to stitches? I don't know, man. I'm on a budget.
I have to apologize to all the UK doctors because I'm watching all these notes about how us podcasters are like, we just talk shit. And then when we get blowback, we're like, I'm a comedian. And I'm certain that there's someone listening to this going into surgery in the UK right now going, that is not what I needed to fucking hear right now. God damn it. I should have done what Madonna did and came to the United States.
Yeah, just Madonna, guy in like Leeds who they're like, you ready for your vasectomy? He's like, not now.
No. I'll do it myself. Jesus. It's like homeschooling. How hard is it to be a doctor? What country has the best doctors? It's got to be India, right? All our doctors are Indians.
Quantity and quality are not the same.
Hold on. Yeah, it's like the African basketball teams suck.
Yeah, Congo hasn't won an Olympic gold medal.
But you'd think they'd have the best basketball teams because we do with them. But no.
That's just like, you'd think like an African country would be like demolishing in like sprints or like distance running or whatever. And instead it's a guy from an island in Jamaica. It's like,
yeah,
that track is only so big for him to practice on, dude.
United States, then Germany, then France, then Switzerland, then Norway, white, Asian, white. Where's India? And just so we're clear, UK, not in the top 7. That wasn't 7. 15 countries that have the best doctors in the world. Let's see it. Where's the UK?
Aren't Switzerland and Norway technically part of the UK?
No. Not even remotely.
I know they're not an English country. I haven't traveled international. I'm from Florida, Bert.
Yeah, they're not. You said the most Florida thing. Aren't they technically part of the UK? You're thinking of Ireland.
You're right.
Scotland.
Ireland, Scotland.
What is it? What does it say? Austria, Italy. Italy's in there? I guess they do make good food. Figure cooking or surgery are same things. Japan, Belgium, Norway, Ireland,
Sweden,
Singapore makes sense. Germany, Netherlands, and that's it. Oh, UK. UK is 5. I'm sorry, guys. I was really irresponsible. I want to make an apology video. Listen, I'm not going to hide behind I'm just a comedian.
You meant Canadian doctors.
Canada's number 4.
Oh, damn. Never mind.
God damn it. It's a lot of whites. By the way, you know what's not on there? Hungary. And they do the best hair transplants in the world. Right? Is it Hungary? Turkey. Sorry, I am hungry. And I wouldn't mind going for some turkey. That's crazy. Yeah, but the United States number 1. We fucking own that shit.
Yeah. Well, it's because our medical system is the most privatized, and therefore you can make the most money. So if you're like top 1% of your class in any country in the world, you want to come practice medicine here.
Yeah.
You want a Lamborghini.
Yeah. What countries were not on there? That don't. What countries were not on there that kind of surprised you? You're like,
is Belarus still a country?
You think Russia would be fucking rough?
Yeah, it's got to be rough.
I feel like
they got to have like Civil War doctors doing like tent medicine, sawing off legs and shit.
Old tiles.
Yeah. You have gout? Not anymore, you don't.
Old tiles, no heating, ice cold, lots of like, I feel like it would look like an episode of Hostel. Remember that movie Hostel?
Yeah.
I remember Beer Olympics 3 years ago. Lucy was there. The guys from Lucy were there, and they had a bunch of Lucy products. And I've always been a big nicotine guy. I love it. And I tried a Lucy, and boy, if you haven't had nicotine in a while, it kicks. It's so awesome. You feel creative. You feel inspired. You want to talk. You want to write. You can. It is such a great feeling. And I didn't do it again. And I didn't realize that's what it was until I started up again. And I'm telling you, Lucy's are awesome. They're 100% pure nicotine, absolutely tobacco-free, no tobacco. To get the tobacco thing out of your head, this is just nicotine. It's a delivery system. And the Lucy Breakers are nicotine pouches with a little extra surprise. It's almost like the crushable things that the dudes have in cigarettes. I always see those and I go, man, those weren't around when I was there. But now they've got it. Each pouch holds a capsule that can be broken to release a little extra flavor and a little hydration. It's a little treat at the end of your pouch. Set yourself up with a subscription, and you can have Lucy delivered straight to your door. Their flavors are mint, berry citrus, mango, apple ice, apple cider, and espresso. I'm a mint guy. I'm old school. Let's level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/Bertcast and use promo code Bertcast. Get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Again, that's lucy.co and use code Bertcast to get 20% off. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. Dude, I saw something on the dark web. Have you ever been on the dark web?
Been on the dark web a time or two. Before, like, we all knew about the dark web. There was like one website that everybody knew about.
Ask Jeeves.
Nope. It was weirder. You could get to it from Ask Jeeves, but it was like one website where it's just like random, like the darkest videos you could imagine, like horrible stuff, like a dude like putting like a nail through his penis and stuff like that.
See, you know what's so funny? That has never interested me. Like, you know, I'm not interested in I'm not interested in gore. I'm not interested in things that I can't forget.
Yeah.
Like, does that mean I'm autistic?
I think that's just like a taste thing.
Okay.
You know?
So like, like Tom loves watching people get run over by cars and getting hurt and their balls stepped on and shitting in a piece of bread and then eating it. I can't watch that because then I think about that every now and then.
Yeah. It's the same like the Jackass movies. I've only watched them once. Yeah. You know, like that. There's things in there that it's like, I am not watching this multiple times.
Yeah.
I got it the one time. I know what happened. I'm good.
I don't like, I'm the same way with horror. I don't like horror. I don't enjoy horror because I feel like, I don't know, it stimulates you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stimulate me in the way I need to be stimulated. I also barely like suspense.
I like a good like mystery thriller. I like like story driven horror. I don't like gory horror just for the sake of gory horror, or like like a body horror, like Cronenberg shit.
What's I wish Kevin Smith was here because he could help us talk about. What's the guy's name? Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
I love Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
And I'm not shitting on anyone who likes what he does, and I'm not shitting on Rob Zombie. For me, and I would never, I feel weird criticizing a guy that is so much more talented than me than everything. But it gets stuck on me. What's the one?
The Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects.
And,
and the guy's dressed as a clown, and he's just and like, I don't know. It's like certain things like that. Like, you know what scene I can't stop thinking about is in M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable, where the guy goes, I can't even look at it. I don't even want to look at it. Like, I don't find that doesn't it doesn't do the thing that, I don't have the gene that they have that like that.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I'm not into that kind of horror. I like Unbreakable. I like what's the like the Haunting of Hill House, like those I can't think of the direct Mike Flanagan. Yes, I like a lot of the Mike Flanagan horror stuff, like Haunting of Hill House. He just did the Fall of the House of Usher, that's based on like the Edgar Allan Poe stories.
Oh, not the singer.
Not the singer.
I was like, he pissed on women too, huh?
That would be wild if that was the name of his documentary, The Fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah, okay. I've never watched 1, 2, 3. I've never watched any of these, and I could not watch any of these. Like, what's crazy is they are highly stimulating to me. Like, Isla loves horror. Isla loves horror. And I can't watch it. I don't mind thriller. But I can't. But
what about like camp horror? Like horror that's like so like poorly made as a horror film that it makes it funny.
Like what? Give me an example.
There's one called Summer Camp.
I do like. What was the one? What was then Cletus and Bill? Oh
nope, the one in the middle. That's it. The one in the middle.
The Summer Camp Slasher.
Yeah.
And then is it like...
Oh, it is called Sleepaway Camp. Yeah. Sleepaway Camp. It like the horror it's very campy, very badly done. You're like, it's like if Hallmark made a Jason movie, like a Friday the 13th. And you're like, the whole movie, you're like, what is this? And then the end is just like a weird twist end that like literally just made me laugh. Yeah. I was like, this is so not what I was expecting at all, that it just became funny.
Really? Yeah. I can't. I don't know. It brings up, I don't know what it does. It activates like sadness in me and like fear because I think I believe it. I think I believe it to be real.
Oh yeah.
And so it
activates like your empathetic response. Maybe. It's like, I can't believe this is happening to someone almost.
Yeah. Or like, and then I go, and then I also have this thing where I get really scared, like very scared. And I like, and like any jump, they jump, I scream. Oh, they had a monkey come at me at Good Morning Mythical Kitchen, and they had a monkey come out. I thought it was a real fucking monkey, and monkeys are terrifying.
Oh yeah,
and I screamed.
Rip your face off.
I screamed. I like comedy. I don't mind like something like, I love time travel. Oh
yeah, I love a good time travel story.
I just got a text from a friend who was like, "Hey man, I got a movie. Can you help me sell it to Netflix?" And I was like, that's like a big lift. To set it up, I don't know. Like usually that's what a producer does, and I'm not a producer.
It's a big ask, bud. You'd have a better chance with Bill.
And then he was like, it's a time travel movie, and I was like, okay, let me see what I can do. I love time travel movies.
Yeah, Looper's a really good one.
Looper's the best. About Time.
Predestination with Ethan Hawke.
I have not seen Predestination.
Very good time travel movie.
Where's my phone? I'm downloading it for the flight tonight. Primer's great. A Time Traveler's Wife. Time Traveler's Wife, I cry every time at the end. Every fucking time. When we were in college, this is one of my fucking hardest I've ever laughed. We were in college and everyone had a free box where you could get all the movies and they just play the movies. We watched Clueless maybe 150 times. At the time, Clueless and Kaiser Soze, Usual Suspects.
Usual Suspects
were on all the time. I left to go to class, and Blair and Hutch were watching Usual Suspects. And I came back from class, and they were watching. They had started it again, and it was already like halfway through. They were already towards the end of it when I went to class, and when I got back, they were like near the
like
end.
10 minutes before where they were when you left.
And Blair's laughing, and he goes, and I go, "What's so funny?" He goes, "You got to watch this. This is you got to watch this." So Hutch is sitting there, and Hutch is like, and he goes, "Okay." He's walking out of the place. He's walking down the street, and Hutch goes, "What? How come he's not limping?" Blair goes, "Hutch, you still haven't figured out what's going on?" And he goes, why does he get in the car with the guy that he knows is going to kill him? Who's Kaiser Soze? He watched it twice, and he was like, "Watch it again."
It's like, that's the whole grift, buddy. That's the whole.
Can I tell you, I just told this I was with Peter, and we were in New York, and we went by the movie theater that I saw Bruce Willis movie with the gun. No. Oh, wow, that's really...
I know what you're talking about. Do you think Mr. Wallace is a bitch? Pulp Fiction?
No. Wow. I See Dead People.
Oh, Sixth Sense.
I was watching Sixth Sense. I was dating a girl who was Italian from Chicago. She was so cool. And she said, "Let's go see Sixth Sense. Everyone's talking about it." So I said, okay. It was sold out. The movie theater was sold out. And we got 2 seats. This is before they assigned seatings. And I sat next to a black dude with dreadlocks. He was on a date. I was on a date. We didn't talk the whole fucking movie at all. We didn't even speak to each other. And when at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, when he looks at his thing and he looks down and sees blood, me and the black guy got the end of the movie at the exact same time. And he went, "Oh shit." And I went, "Oh my God." And he was like, "Dude." I go, "Dude." And I looked at him, and we both said, "He's dead." And we were like, and we started going, "Oh," and we were a little loud, and everyone was looking at us, and we were like, "Dude, oh, shut the, he was a ghost. And we're talking. We walk out on that corner, over by Union Square, on that corner by that movie theater that's still there. You can't drive down that street anymore. And me and this black dude sat on the corner for probably 20 minutes breaking down this movie. Uh-huh. We were on dates, and me and him had a connection that I wish we had maintained. And I said to him, I was like, "Dude, do you want to go get drinks right now?" And his girlfriend goes, "We're on a date." And I was like, "No, but we're having a moment." And he was like, "I can't go, man." And he just went on a date with his chick. And I was like,
so when you go, "You were on a date. We're on a date now.
We have a connection. Don't you see our connection?" I love talking about movies. How did you meet Kevin Smith?
So I started comedy in Florida. And when COVID happened, I was with this company that was doing like this variety tour out of Tallahassee.
What?
And yeah, it was a Phi Entertainment. It was like a guy that used to do like step shows and like choreograph like music videos for like T-Pain and people like that. And he started his own like entertainment company. So he was doing like a tour where it was like,
can I tell you, T-Pain is a little bit into steampunk?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but I know he's super like into video games, so that doesn't like surprise me.
Yeah,
like
he's a little bit into
anytime somebody who's into video games is into anything else you might find at like a Comic-Con, I'm like, yeah, that tracks.
He's really a fascinating guy. And I really regret, I spent a lot of time with him when we worked together. I really regret not like deep diving him a little more or getting into his brain. We just hung out like friends. Yeah. Which is what you're supposed to do. I'm sorry. Phi Entertainment. No, Phi Entertainment.
But so he was doing this variety tour with like a couple musicians, and then he had I'd submitted and he had picked me as a comedian, and so we all got together in Tallahassee. He'd rented a house for us to stay in and start rehearsing for this tour, and then COVID shut everything down.
Yeah.
Tour got canceled. And so I used my COVID check to buy a van for $1,200, built a bed in it, and as soon as places opened up, I hit the road. Like I was doing like brewery shows and whatever I could find. And the Comedy Club of Kansas City, I did an open mic there. The club owner liked me, and then he posted like 2 weeks later a contest to open for Jason Mewes. So I was like, I want to submit for the contest. And he's like, "Buddy, you don't live here." And I was like, "I don't care. I'll drive. Like, I'll drive. I live in my van. Not a big deal. And he's like, all right, come do it. And I won that contest, opened for Jay the following week. And I did a 10-minute set, standing ovation. And when I walked back into the green room, he popped his head like out of the green room door into that little back hallway. And he was like, hey, Broseph, can you get on planes and shit? And he just started bringing me on the road.
Can you get on planes and shit?
Yeah. Because my set was all about autism and stuff. So he was just like, oh, this retard boy is funny, but I don't know if I'm allowed to like take him out plays. I don't know if he gets a day pass, you know?
Jason Mewes was sober at the time?
Yeah, he's been sober for 15 years.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's been sober for a minute.
I've been telling people, never mind. No, I'm joking. So wait, then you met Kevin through Jason?
Yeah, I toured with Jay, and then we were doing shows in New Jersey, and during the day of like the Friday, Saturday shows, they were doing autograph signings and like a meet and greet at their comic book store in Red Bank. So Jay took me with him and was like, hey, Kevin, this is my opener. And Kevin Smith like cut him off and was like, you're AJ, dude. His wife sent me one of your videos. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I was in Colorado, and Jay's wife texted me and was like, hey, how quick can you get to New Jersey? We're filming Clerks 3 right now. And Kevin said to give you a call. And so I went and I filmed for like 2 days just as like I was just an extra, but they gave me like a trailer and shit like I was a star. And then both of my scenes got cut from the movie.
Really?
Yeah. One of them is my fault. One of them...
You yelled the N-word?
No. It wasn't that cool. No, one of them got cut because they couldn't get the rights to Fortnite, like to show Fortnite. So one of them, it was like Jay and Kevin were going to be playing video games in like the video store / dispensary. And so when I walk in, they're like playing Fortnite and they win, and Jay starts like dancing and rapping or whatever, but they couldn't get the rights to use Fortnite. So they cut that.
Is that in the movie that's doing really well right now? Or is that?
That's Minecraft.
Okay. Yeah.
But the other scene was, have you've seen Clerks 3?
No.
Oh, there's a scene where
I had a hard time watching Clerks 1 because it was in black and white. And I was like, wait, I'm not that smart. Like, meaning like if you take a chance, you probably lose me.
Yeah.
Like if you
do something risky.
If you do something risky, I'm the mindset that goes, I'm supposed to read this movie.
Kind of same. I didn't watch Clerks 1 until after I'd seen Clerks 2 because I found Jay and Silent Bob through Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
I like Chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy is excellent.
Chasing Amy is one of my favorite. I love Dogma. But that's like the perfect mix for a moron like me is like, you got 2 movie stars to be in this?
And you got 2 legendary comedians in George Carlin and Chris Rock.
I was like, wow, this is awesome. And so, if you take a swing, like I started watching Clerks 1 when everyone was like talking about all the independent films were just having a moment. And I started watching it and I was like, I don't get it. I was like, it's black and white. Why are we doing it in black and white? Like, I don't get it. And then Chasing Amy came out, and I loved Chasing Amy. And then I was like, all right, let me check out Clerks again. So I've seen Clerks. I think I watched Clerks 2 because I was like, it's in color, right?
Yeah, it's in color. Rosario Dawson, so hot.
Yeah, have you ever seen her in person?
No,
distracting.
I just met Matt Rife in person, and I wanted to fuck him.
He is really attractive.
Yeah,
I never found him like. So funny. Maybe he was smaller when I knew him.
Oh, he hadn't gotten jacked yet.
He hadn't gotten jacked. I always can joke about someone. I got nothing to say about him. His crowd work's pretty fucking legit, and he looks great. And he seems like, I saw a clip about him talking to a black guy on stage the other day, and it made me laugh. And I was like, my only regret is my only thing I hold against him is he doesn't drink all the time. But I can do that by myself.
I can do that by myself. I don't need anybody for that.
Yeah.
I'm an all-star.
Rosario Dawson, I've said this to her. She is distractingly attractive.
I get how she got. Have you heard about like how she got into acting?
Yeah, of course.
Like she was sitting on the steps of an apartment as like a 13, 14-year-old or whatever.
They were squatters in the Lower East Side or maybe in the Bowery. And they were, and they walked by and there's like, who is that?
Yeah.
She's.
We get to appreciate Rosario Dawson because of a pedophile.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Thanks, pedophiles. Right now, there's one dude going into surgery in London going, oh, okay, that's not that bad.
It's like, I'm back in.
I'm going in for a chemical castration. But Rosario is, and I'll tell you this, and I hope Rosario never hears this, but if she gives you attention, like if she wants to talk to you and like is interested in something you want to talk about, and she's making eye contact with you, you get confused.
You start leaning in, like.
I mean, Pete, my assistant, knows her as well, and she is. I mean, the first time I ever hung out with her, she was like, it was during COVID, and once again, I apologize, Rosario. I hope you never hear this. They had the commercial for our show was on TV, and we were all at the bar watching it. It was during COVID. Everyone was wearing masks. I really wasn't because I was drinking, and we were all getting tested. But Rosario had like a knitted mask on. And I think she had a hat on, and she turned around, and I didn't know who it was at first because a hat and a mask. And when I saw her eyes, there's a smokiness that I went, what the fuck? And then she dropped her mask and she goes, do you have weed? And I was like, I just came. Yeah, Rosario is the fucking sweetest. She just texted me the other day, oddly enough. Like random. I don't know what she texted me about.
Rosario Dawson taught the world that it's okay to go ass to mouth as long as you're in love.
Wait, what was that in?
Clerks 2.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Joe? What was it? Joey Lawrence? Not Joey Lawrence. Wait, Joey Lawrence? Joey Adams.
Joey Adams.
Whatever happened to Joey Adams? Joey Adams was fucking gorgeous.
Joey Lauren Adams.
She still looks good.
She still looks good.
Thank God. Thank God. She was so fucking.
Mm-hmm.
There was who's the girl that looks like her that is an actress as well? It's not Renee Zellweger, is it?
They kind of look a little alike.
There was
also Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Still got it?
I think she's still got it. Yeah.
Man.
Candace Cameron Byrne from Full House.
Yeah.
Still got it.
You know, she got a DUI. I like her. You know why? And this is bad. This is fucked up on why I like certain people. This is really fucked up, what I'm about to say. They're at a party like with her family and see if she's got a DUI. I think this is her. They're all at a party. They're all having a good time. They got the kids. They got the minivan. The husband's there. Husband gets a little lit. She hadn't been drinking that much. She goes, don't worry about it. I'll drive. And so she gets behind the wheel and then rolls her car. It's not her. Oh, for real? Is it Tracy Gold? No, it's Kirk Cameron's sister. I thought so. Never mind. This is why podcasters, the state should censor us because you shouldn't let me talk.
We should at least come with a warning label.
I'm going to start saying, hey, man, it's crazy that I've given that to Candace Cameron her whole life. That she like rolled her SUV or rolled her. Lori Loughlin did it. Tracy Gold, is she the one that fucking
rollover crash of her SUV
with her kids in the car? Shit. Man, yeah, 2 kids in the car. God damn it. I'm sorry to both you guys. I'm such a fucking idiot.
She does kind of look like Joey Lauren Adams, though.
Yeah. Top 5 funniest women to ever come off SNL. Let's do it. Gilda Radner's number 1.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say...
the Australian, Kate McKinnon.
She's Australian?
Australian, yeah.
Kate McKinnon's... Okay, don't pull it up yet. Kate McKinnon, Rachel Dratch. I mean, you got to do
Gilda
fucking...
Radner.
You got to... Okay, let's do top 10. You got to do Amy Poehler and fucking...
Amy Poehler and Tina Fey.
But like Tina... Respect. Tina is funny, but I think she's funnier like globally. I think she sees funny differently. I think she can orchestrate funny more than any of the women we'll name. Like she has more of a big stroke picture idea of funny. Mm-hmm. She's funny in movies. She's funny.
Like Kevin Hart. And I mean that as the highest of compliment. Like Kevin Hart, like just the way he writes material is like, this is really funny, but this will be really funny to everyone.
Yeah. But Amy Poehler's fucking hysterical. But like Gilda Radner, just a home run hitter.
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon makes me laugh so hard. Kristen Wiig might be the funniest out of all of them.
Yeah. Kristen Wiig and God damn it, what's her name? Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, who are the funniest women on SNL? Maya Rudolph, Molly Shannon. Molly Shannon. Fuck, Molly Shannon's so funny. Nora Dunn was pretty fucking awesome. Sheri O'Terry. I think she got put in an era where it was so male centric. I don't think that if Sheri O'Terry had been 5 years younger and worked with the Tinas and the Mollys and the or the Tinas and the all that era, Anna Gasteiner's fucking funny. But I think she would have blossomed in that group.
Oh,
It's a lot of times it's just about the people you were around at the time.
Oh, yeah.
You look at that with podcasting. It's like, I just happen to be in the right place at the right time. Whereas there are dudes that are my same age that lived in New York, so they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. So they lived in New York, and if they had been out in LA, they would have been in the scene that was podcasting that when it all took off. Yeah. So it's luck, really. It really is luck. I subscribe everything to luck. And you look at Sheri O'Terry, she was in with what was her cast? Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
And she was holding ground with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell stole every, Chris Kattan, Norm Macdonald. Fucking Spade. Adam, right?
I think most of those guys were gone by the time Will Ferrell got there, weren't they?
I saw her at a party one time, and my mom's always been a big fan of female-driven comedy, always. Like Gilda Radner, Bette Midler. My mom has always been female first, funny. And my mom, I told her I was going to an SNL party. This is during that era. It was probably 97 or 98, probably 97. And see who the cast on SNL was in 1997. My mom's like, if you meet Sheri O'Terry, you got to tell her she's my favorite. And I was like, I will. Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell, Jim Brewer, Daryl Hammond, Tim Meadows. And a guest star, Norm Macdonald, Sheri O'Terry, and Robert Carlock. I don't remember.
Yeah, I thought Sandler and Spade and those guys were gone by then.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
And so I met Will Ferrell on the dance floor, and I said, and he was dancing by himself, but in a weird kind of way. And I was like, this cast was more, Tracy Morgan was on that cast.
Yeah. Tracy
Morgan's the funniest fucking human being. I'm flying to New York in a little bit to go see him.
I think it was it might have been the Mark Twain Award.
I don't know. He's funny in everything.
He's funny in everything.
So I just had a FaceTime call with him the other day. And it was he was I can't even do it justice. I had a FaceTime call with him for maybe 10 minutes. And he talked the whole 10 minutes. And me and the other guy on the call were laughing so hard the whole 10 minutes. And he's just
so Tracy Morgan that you talk for 10 minutes and then he hangs up and you're like, fuck, he didn't even tell me what he was calling about.
I'll see you in New York. And I was like, all right. And then I got a call yesterday. Are you coming? And I was like, I haven't booked a flight. And they're like, can you make it on Tuesday morning? And I was like, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I will fly across the country. I will bring one set of clothes. I'm going to this meeting and I'm getting on a plane and I'm flying home.
Yep.
Just because it's Tracy Morgan. It's the truth. But so I saw Sheri O'Terry at that same party, and I said, I got to let you know. My mom said you're her favorite on the cast, and Sheri O'Terry was like, oh, thank you so much. So the cut to 25 years later, I'm at a party, and Sheri O'Terry comes up to me and says, I saw you getting your nails done, where I get my nails done, and I wanted to come over and say hi to you and your wife so bad. I think you're hilarious. And I went, I was like, oh my God, this is full circle. The Jedi has become the Jedi. I think I said that wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a podcast just about Star Wars?
It has to be.
Where they just talk about Star Wars over and over and over again?
There has to be. It's too big of a fandom to not have its own thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Walking Dead had its own follow-up television show.
Star Wars Minute? Yeah, there is.
Children of the Watch blast points, coffee with Kenobi, sky talk. There's like 20 of them.
Can I tell you the sexiest thing I've seen in a while? John Barenthal had a woman named Sutton, who played Dungeons and Dragons with him.
Oh.
Have you seen this?
I have not.
John Barenthal.
Is it his John podcast Barenthal, that he's been doing?
Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, that's okay. Deborah Ann Wool.
Deborah Ann Wool. Oh.
Hang on. Let me hear it.
Sure.
She goes, hang on, hit pause.
All right.
She goes, do you want to play Dungeons and Dragons? And he goes, I'll try it. She goes, literally right now. Watch this. This is so cool. And I never played Dungeons and Dragons in my entire fucking life because I'm not good with notebooks and writing things down. And I'm not good with notes I never, the smart kids played Dungeons and Dragons. And I bought the dice and just rolled them and then bought the miniature things and then never played. Okay, watch this.
What do you see? You've got a bow strapped to your back, a sword and a dagger at your hilt, right? So you're walking through the woods. It's dark. It's at night. Almost no moonlight is coming through. You hear a crack off in the distance. Something large stepped on a branch. What would you do?
First thing, how far away is the crack?
Give me a perception check. So then you roll dice and we'd see how perceptive you are. Let's say you roll a 13. Okay. And you're pretty perceptive. So you have a +3 to that. That's 16. So I know, 16, that's pretty perceptive. You think it's about 20 feet away.
Okay. It's about 20 feet away. I think I take out my bow first.
Yeah. So you take a bow, you're readied, you're aimed, you're
right at where the spot's coming. Yeah.
Okay. Slowly creeping towards you, suddenly into view, a little bit of eye shine in the darkness. You see an owl bear. This is a 10, 15 foot tall monster. It looks like an owl, but it has the body of a bear. It opens its beak and squawks at you. What do you do?
Have I ever met an owl bear before? Like, are owl bears?
We could do a history check. So this is D&D. You're playing D&D.
I mean a history check.
So a history check would be like in your past, in your history.
I've played a couple times.
I've never wanted to play more in my entire life.
It's fun. It's exactly that. Like a dungeon master is giving you like verbal commands and describing what's happening, and you get to decide how to react to that.
So wait, so who are these dungeon masters? Sounds like they're just great storytellers.
Yeah. You'd be a great dungeon master.
I really am bummed that I never investigated when David Germain invited me to his house to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I went over and I was like, and they brought out notebooks, and I was like, are we taking notes? Is this school? And they're like, I thought we were going to play. Like, I wanted to get physical about it. And they're like, no. You take notes, you got to create a character, and then we'll give you attributes. And I was like, huh? I was like, it's like, and then trust me, we'll do this.
Yeah. You had like LARPing in your mind.
I thought we were going to fuck each other up. And then all of a sudden we're doing Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, it reminded me too much of school, which I wasn't good at. And I was like, I'm going to suck at this. I was like, let's just go play football. And then they played soccer. David Germain was into soccer. And I was like, I guess I'll play a commie sport. I bet if I had gotten into Dungeons and Dragons, I would have made a pretty good dungeon master.
If your ADHD could have made it through the first 20 minutes, you'd still be playing.
I can't believe that I have ADHD and autism. And I found out at 52, but I'm kind of like, I wonder if that's why I drink so much.
That's how I spent my 20s. I was so anxious to go be around people that I would pregame the pregame. I'd have to have like 3-4 beers at my house before I even went to have beers with my friends, because in case if 3 of my friends brought 3 other friends, now I have to get to know and impress 3 strangers. Fuck those guys.
That sounds so sexy, pregame and a pregame. I love that. I love drinking so much.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I had a bottle of white wine watching the Masters with my dad on the phone. Just my favorite thing in the world. When he dies, one thing I'll miss about him the most is watching golf with him on the phone. We get on the phone and we talk on the phone as we watch, and one of us' TVs is ahead of the other one. Always. So we go back and forth. That was the greatest. And my dad goes, he goes, buddy, this is good. I'm opening a bottle of white wine, getting a cigar. And I was like, me too. So I opened a bottle of white wine, got a cigar, and I put that bottle of white wine down before I opened it when Justin Rose sunk his putt on 18, and it was gone in sudden death. I mean, it was, I fucking put it back. But, okay, my bad. I'm talking about me. What, so when you shoot your special next week?
Yes, next Saturday, I'm filming it at Kevin Smith's movie theater in New Jersey.
The Smodcastle.
Smodcastle Cinemas. Yeah.
God. And then are you guys? Is he filming it? Are you filming it? Who's directing it?
I'm producing it, I guess, but it's Homeless Pimp and his production company, Third Nut Studios. Yeah,
that's great,
dude. I love those guys so much.
That guy's kind of fucking changed the game a little bit.
Yeah, he's like in our industry, he's the best comparison we have to like a gunslinger.
Who else did he do? Did he do Sam Morrill's?
I don't know. I know he did Speshy Weshy for DeStefano.
Yeah, okay. Type in Homeless Pimp.
He's done like 2 or 3 for
Studios.
Nate Bargatze. Like he did Greatest Average American.
He did Shane's.
Yep.
Yeah, man, that guy's fucking next level.
Oh yeah, Soder's On the Road special. Jared Freed.
God damn, he's great, man.
Yeah. But he is literally like, do you remember the old like TV Western, like Have Gun, Will Travel?
Yeah.
That's Homeless Pimp.
Really?
That's those guys. I messaged him. I met him at like Nashville Comedy Festival like 3 years ago. And then when I decided that we were going to do this, when I was like, I want that guy. And I just messaged him on Instagram and I was like, dude, this is probably a long shot, but I'd love to find out about like doing my special with you. And he's like, you fucking tell me where and when. And I was like, okay.
God damn it.
Yeah. Has gun, will travel. You need a guy to show up and shoot the shit out of something. That's the guy.
And so how many shows are you recording?
We're just doing 2.
It's great.
Just 2.
It's great. And then what are you going to put it out on?
Don't know yet.
You going to take it to streamers first?
We're going to take it to streamers first. That's what he had that Jared Freed special on there. And I don't know if this is like too much inside baseball, but when I was talking with Homeless Pimp and his like main production guy, Jason, when I was talking with them about it, and I was like, dude, I haven't gotten like a bite from anybody, but I don't know anybody. Like when it comes to industry stuff, I don't know any of those people. But he was like, well, this is what we did with Jared Freed's is we've shot it. We got it all edited. And then like, I just told him, I was like, let me sit on it for a month. And then he shopped it for that month and Netflix bought it. So that's...
If I'm not mistaken, I think Jared told me this. Netflix bought it and like a week later put it up.
Yeah, it was out fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. So, yeah, how does the industry feel? I have no problem with YouTube specials, but how do you feel like comics feel about YouTube specials?
I think comics are fine with it. I think like audiences, like that's what I get. Like a lot of my comments are like, thanks for putting this out for everybody to see. Cause I started comedy in 2019. I have 5 hours on my YouTube channel. I have 3 written specials and 2 like unscripted, just riffed for like 45 minutes.
That's great. I mean, I have 2 feelings. And this is just a little too honest, maybe. I feel like sometimes people should wait longer to do specials.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning like in your career and in between specials. Like I didn't do my first special. No, I did my first special at like probably 10 years. But like, I don't think it was that good. And then the first one that I did that was good, I did at 19 years. And so I waited another 9 years to do a special after that first special. And now I do like 18 months to a year, 2 years to 2 years between specials. But like, I think there's something sexy about people not knowing you.
There is my buddy Jake that I mentioned earlier. He's my road dog. Like he doesn't really like, he's got like a little bit of like a Facebook following, but he doesn't have a bunch of stand-up clips out there. He's not posting and trying to like grow in that way. He's like, I like being like the underdog that I show up and nobody knows who I am. And then I just fucking crush and walk it off.
That was the best part of stand-up when I was a kid is you'd go into a club and you would be fucking good.
Yeah.
And everyone would have no expectations and you'd murder. And that went as far as you being good. Like the fact that you murdered with no expectations was almost better. They'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? The best compliment you could get was sitting at a bar at like Laughs Unlimited and someone going, why aren't you famous?
Yeah.
And you were like, you tell me.
Yeah, dude, that was like I was like opening for Jay for like a year and a half, 2 years. I'll still go open with him sometimes. I just like December, I went and opened for him in like Louisville. But that was the coolest part about being on the road with Jay is all of these like Jay and Silent Bob like movie fans would come and show up, and then at the meet and greet table they'd be like, when are they going to put you in the movie? Because you need to be in the movie. And I was like, fuck, okay.
I mean, that's the best feeling you have is when, you know, when the first week we worked together is for everyone going, wait, who was the guy who went second? Who was that guy?
Yeah.
And you're like, that's the funnest part of stand-up.
Yeah. But that's where like, I agree with you. I wish I could have like waited longer to do specials, but I kind of got like put in that situation where like being on the road with Jay, when Jay was like, I think he was only like 2 years into stand-up when he was like, come on the road with me. And he was like, come on the road with me because I'm not confident that I'm putting on a good show yet. And I want people to get their money's worth.
That's interesting. Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. But he's like, his material now is, dude, light years ahead of where he was before. It's like cool to see a guy like that, like realize like, oh, this is different than what I've done before. And then start really taking it seriously and like diving into the craft. It's fun watching somebody that like, you're like, I looked up to you for this thing. And now like, I respect you for putting the love into this thing that we both do.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome. Well, we've learned a lot today.
Yeah.
What are you naming your special?
This one's Doctor's Notes.
Doctor's Notes?
Yeah.
I guess I got to see a doctor now. I can just live with my autism and ADHD.
Yeah. Well, and that's like most people are like, do just live with it. Like most people don't seek out a diagnosis unless it's like majorly affecting their life in some way.
I've been doing pretty good with it.
Yeah. You've been crushing
it. Works for me. And now that I learned that I can watch Indian Premier League cricket and not think about things. Hey, we got to find out how to gamble on cricket.
I think it's in pounds.
Rupees.
Hey, give me 1,600 rupees on the.
So you go back tonight?
Yeah, I fly back, take a red eye back tonight to Nashville.
Nice. You know, red eyes only go that way, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That does make sense. I'm like in Nashville. I'm like, why can't I ever find like a 10 p.m. flight anywhere?
Because the airport closes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they I think that's the funniest thing is I've had so many people say, and just the other day they were like, well, why don't you take the red eye out to New York and then we'll get you the red eye coming home? And I go, it doesn't go that way.
It doesn't come. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just called a late flight. It's called the last flight out of JFK.
Yeah.
Or the first flight. I think I'm going to spend the night in New York I think I'm going to spend the night and go to dinner with Tim Dillon.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. I haven't talked to him in a while. I love that fucking guy. That guy's the best. He's got a new special coming out. It's coming out right now.
Yeah.
It's out tonight, I think. Well, dude, congratulations on the special.
Thank you.
That's so fucking awesome. Congratulations on everything. The baby, the tour, the fucking selling out shows, the standing ovations. Your Instagram's doubled in the last 6 months, and that means there's a canary in the mine, and you're doing good shit.
I appreciate it. And again, I wouldn't have most of it if you hadn't give me a chance. So I appreciate it. Man.
Just remember that when I die, say kind things about me.
Always. I'm going to just get them all out of the way while you're alive. So once you die, I can be like, what a piece of shit.
I love you, brother.
I love you, dude.
That was a great podcast.
That was very fun fucking episode.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.